Hello everybody, this is Fanny. How are you? I hope you're doing great. I'm excited to make a video today for the 11/11 2022. Okay, it's been a while since I dressed up and actually planned something for a session. For the past few weeks, month, the energy was pretty low. So I was kind of, giving up, mostly that when you're talking to people all around, you realize that there is a lot going on. People are going through difficult stories and stuff. And so that doesn't really make you believe in humanity and put you back in those energy, even though you see that really people are trying. You're trying, to get over this. But sometimes you fade and kind of get drained. So I made a lot of videos that some are posted on my YouTube, some are unlisted, because it's like I recorded, it's like my therapy, but then I'm like, oh no, I'm not gonna post this, nobody can watch this. But that's still there. It's still good for me to let it out. This is why for you, if you have stuff, grudges or things that keep ressasser, we say in France, in French, coming back in your mind and stuff, it's good to journal, create art, whatever things that you externalize your emotions helps you. It's like your own therapy. Personally, I don't really like to go talk to a therapist, someone that I don't know my story, whatever. I don't know. I've never been really called to do that. Through my art, is my art therapy. So anyways, today I was like, no, I really want now to do a video where I align not to the collective energies, but to where I want to be. Okay, so try to get to these energies to manifest more of it. Because it's one thing to talk about the reality, to announce the facts, tell the truth, give people information. This is what's going on. This is what's going on in the world. There's people suffering, people hurting each other on purpose, or there's just people in trouble, others who don't care and stuff. We need that. But at some point, we also need to be able to drag ourselves out of this, even if you don't want to. An hour ago, I was like, oh no, I'm done with those videos. And I'm like, no. Drag yourself out of these energies, dress up, write down all the stuff you've been thinking on, transmute it into something powerful that you want to manifest. So yeah, that's our 11/11. It's kind of a birthday for me because if you're following me for a long time, you know what the 11/11 is. If not, I'm going to talk about it today, give a little recap. What is the 11/11 energy, where I was on the 11/11/11. It's an 11-year cycle completing. There is an event right now in Argentina to work on completing this cycle. Of course, so there is a hurricane right now, so I want to talk a little bit about the elements and the emotions, how our emotions and our elements work together. And of course, I want to talk about the twin flame journey, which is the main point of this video. So I'm going to show 3 oracles today, maybe 2 or 3. So the Lover's Oracle, the Mother Earth Mandala Oracle, which is my oracle that I created with my art. And if we have time, I want to make a 20 minutes video, but usually most likely going to be 40 minutes, even though I know you prefer probably shorter video. And the Magical Times Oracle, of course, explain this painting, the 11/11, to illustrate my twin flame journey. Then I want to talk about the imposter syndrome and the task in Egypt. Yes, my better life. So you see, I have my better life journal. So my mentors, they always say, so I hope you watch till the end. It's going to be a super interesting session that I think is needed. Sometimes maybe I take too long to say stuff that I could say shorter, but personally, I'm not in a rush. I don't know if you are, but if you're painting or doing a creative activity, you can listen while you're doing that. And I think it's nice also to take the time, not to just have a 10 seconds, but actually listen and connect, and then it sticks. Do you ever have these things that people say? So whether it's good stuff or bad stuff, but that stay in your mind, it sticks to your mind, and you just keep thinking about it. And some days, I don't know, I just keep thinking of like the day my dog died, he died in my arms and stuff. I just keep thinking about that, or some stuff that friends told me, and it's just like, I love them. But man, they said that, like, it's like, oh my God. And some other things that people say and that was really nice, or people who fight for you, stand up for you, and you're like, wow, I can't believe people do that. Like, and so, things that touch you, I think it's worth taking the time to listen to each other and try to understand. Because even when people say stuff that are not necessarily nice, or they don't really make an effort for you, I'm kind of, I have some older friends that when my life changed, I felt like when everything's good in your life, they're here for going out and the brunch and stuff. But then when you're in the times when you need it the most and you're in need, and they could give more at that time, and then they give less, and less attention, less sharing, and you're like, this is, the more you need, the more people retract, when it should be the opposite, so yeah. And then I was like, but people just do as much as they can. We all have our own journey and our obstacle. Everybody is in their own thing that they struggle with. So try not to see it like you're the center of the universe, right? You're the center of your universe, and people just do as much as they can with what they have and are able to do. So that's also my little forgiveness, compassion thing. And so why do I always talk about me? My mentors, they always say, you have to make people see, if you want to generate more sales and bring more income for your company, and I think it works also for interest and kindness and friendship and relationships, you have to make your prospect feel understood by camping out in their mind and emotions. And they always say, you have to talk about you, about them. But sometimes I'm like, who am I? Who am I to give you an advice, to tell you what to do, when I'm barely, able to make my own life, amazing, even though it is amazing, different perspectives. You can look at it amazing, you can look at it lots of challenges, but the best I can talk about is myself. And if you relate, maybe, and this is why I decided to share my story, because every time I'm like, nobody watches my video, or some watch my video, but I don't have like a massive audience, but it's the quality that matters, not the quantity, by the way. And then I'm like, I'm just gonna stop, and I'm here fading down the hole, right? Then I talk to someone, and a friend, and another one, and another one, and I'm like, oh my God, they're all going through this. Oh my God, okay, I need to make a video. I need to explain what's going on, how we gotta change the thing, so maybe it resonates, my own experience, if you're living the same thing, and find some ideas, maybe a quote that you're gonna hear today, or something, mostly when I'm gonna talk about the twin flames, things that can help you in your own journey and understand things and how stuff work. Okay. Yeah, well, the imposter syndrome, okay, let's get this out of the way. It's the negative kind of thing. Things are not always what they appear. Yeah, sometimes you feel like, oh my God, people let me down. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. They're not interested in working with me. They don't like me. Maybe that's true, and then you realize, no, maybe they were just jealous of you, or maybe they're intimidated by you. I don't know. Sometimes you meet people and you're like, you put them in this ideal, unbreakable, always, got on top of their stuff and everything, and you forget that they're humans too, and they have emotions too, and maybe they're unsure sometimes, and they don't know how to, don't make assumptions. So sometimes remember that Okay, this is one huge thing. Or for example, many jobs I applied for, many jobs, and I have not found a job since I got in the US. That's crazy. 10 years I've worked all of my life, and even when I didn't have a proper job, I did something out of my life with the art and everything. But can you imagine the self-confidence when you've had like the best jobs, your career is like this, you're sure you're gonna be super successful, and all of a sudden it's like close door, close door, close door, close door. Friends don't call you because they're jealous. Blah blah. You're like, oh my god, my self-confidence is like, okay, I'm such a failure. I'm not as good as I thought. I worked for. Whatever. And then I realized, no, for most of the stuff I applied for, I was just overqualified, and it was intimidating people without trying to be pretentious. But at some point, I had to realize this first thing, that sometimes people are scared that you take their spot. So they move you aside. And so in that case, you have to be like, okay, I'm going to take it as a compliment. Maybe this is because they see my potential, and maybe they're unsure about themselves. So that's the first thing. If you have these imposter syndromes, try to understand why you're being rejected. Okay, if there's jealous, then it means maybe you have something good in you. Or if there is too much truth, why did my Instagram page was deleted? Is it really because I had a transparent top in one of my pictures? Or is it because there was too much good information, that had to be kept for something special? I don't know. Everything happens for a reason. So that's the first thing. I'm not saying everybody's against you and negative, but sometimes I have to say I am in this paranoia sometimes, and I try to fight against that because I still feel like the world is against me, and plotting against me. And this is something that, even though I always see the good in people and I always cheer on people and encourage, but once it's happened to you so many times, it's just written in your DNA at some point, in your trauma, and then you have this paranoia that hits back all of a sudden, and you're like, and all of a sudden everybody's against you, they're plotting against you to take you down and everything, and all the demons. You have breaches in your aura, and those breaches, all the fears, all the things of the collective. If you're an empath, I talk about it in my previous videos, so I'm not going to spend too long on that today, but you have breaches and those fears and those stuff of all these people I talk about that experience the same thing, that all are in those fears stuff. These are things that fly around, right? They get attracted into your breaches. Okay, so try to heal and seal your aura and your energy, and by just taking a step back of yourself and analyzing the situation and be like, okay, no, I'm not that bad. I have the potential. And then the other thing that's very, very important for the imposter syndrome, for me, and I think for many people, is that sometimes it's not working because it's not where you're meant to be. Okay? For me, I found my place a long time ago. When I got here, I started working with the masterminds. I found the Project Next and everything. Since the beginning, I saw these guys. I was like, oh my God, I need to work with them. This is my thing. Like, it's crazy. I've been cheering on them forever and stuff. I was like, I found a place. So then I was like, oh, no, they don't want to work with me, or it's taking too long, or whatever. Maybe I'm not good enough. I have to learn more. I have to practice more. Maybe they're too busy, whatever. So I tried to go, okay, then I'm going to work there. I never gave up my courses, always left my courses there, but I was like, okay, maybe I need to find something complementary. So this is going to be just fun and entertainment, right? And I will have my paycheck somewhere else, and another company I can put my energy into. So I wrote letter everywhere. It was like no, or no answer, ignore, no answers. And I was like, oh my God, once again, confidence. I'm such a failure. I'm so bad. And then you see people that doing the exact same thing that you do, the exact same, and they have the spot there, and they're like, you're like, what in the world is going on? Yeah, it's not working because I already have my spot. I already find my spot, so nothing else can work. Okay, it's not because I'm bad or whatever. It's because I have my place somewhere, and then therefore nothing else can work. Okay, of course you can work with many partners and organizations and stuff like that, but that's also a thing. And maybe you have not found the spot yet, but it's somewhere waiting for you, and so it can't work because you have to be in a better place or somewhere that's more exactly the perfect place for you. Another thing, third thing about the imposter syndrome, that shift of perspective, is that if I didn't write all these resumes, because I could never apply for a job unless recently, like, I applied for a job, I was like, well, whatever, I just need money. I didn't even make a cover letter or anything. I just sent, an old resumes, and I was like, oh, if it were good. But usually I never take 3 days or a whole night or invest time, my precious time, in writing a letter for something I don't care. So all the places I wrote to, every single person, organization that I wrote either to promote my workshops, or that I was looking for a job, or asking for a partnership, whatever. Any single place that I wrote to, I made their own motivation letter. Like, usually it's 2 or 3 pages, because I explain, with all my heart, why I want to work with them, why I love what they're doing, and why I want to be, a part of me in there, what I could bring, what they could bring, what other things in general, other vision for their company they could, see forward. So I'm literally like, I'm already in the job, and I'm already like thinking and asking questions and stuff. So every single letter I write, it's like almost like an article, right? So what happens? Like, sometimes they don't answer to me, but they read the letter, they see it, they're like, oh, who's this person? Okay, I'm gonna check. And then, even though we're not officially working together, it's still little by little developed that network, right? Because usually the people I write to, they're like, awesome organization. I wrote to the naval postgraduate school to promote my workshops. I wrote to Gaia TV. I wrote to the Shift Network, the National Women Resource Center, like all these really huge people who can make really a big impact, like United Nations, all this stuff. So then they're like, oh, when I did the NASA challenge, right? I'm interested in science and technology as well. So all these places where I wrote and I poured all my heart in the letter, I'm like, okay, maybe they don't want to work with me because I don't fit or for some other reason. But it did create the network. It did make these people come back to my page. And my page, I want it to be the place where people can come and they know what's going on in other organizations. It's a safe place. You can tell the truth, or you can read the truth, or you can just see a human, who is sometimes happy and overexcited and over loving and, oh my God, I love you guys, and sometimes it's like, oh my God, I'm so out of it, whatever. But a real human in all the emotions and what is the journey and how do you overcome it and what has happened. Okay, I see people pictures and full of life and stuff, and then these people, they commit, they just give up on life. Or then you see other people who have like everything against them or whatever, and then they transcend everything and they become amazing influencers, millionaires, best sellers, inventors, whatever. And you see all kind of stuff, and I ask myself questions, at what point do you give up? At what point is the switch, And also, at what point other people need to start interfering in the journey and say, okay, now I'm interfering into this, and because, we need to help you, or we need to put a stop to it, or whatever. But it's also, we're responsible for each other, It's not just, I don't like the dialogue, oh, you have to make your... be just independent, you don't need anybody. Yeah, we need each other. We need each other. If we didn't need each other, then there would be just one person on earth and he would know how to do everything, and that's it. No, if we're all together, it's because we need each other. A day like this with hurricanes and floodings, man, if we didn't have the first responders, yeah, you need each other. Trust me, you need others. So yeah, and sometimes something that Matthias was saying is concerning the frequencies, is that sometimes the task, sometimes you're in a bad frequency, and it's not even your own, it's your channeling the collective energies. And maybe you're not perfect, but you're aligning. What was he saying exactly? Watch his video, but you're aligning with the task. There is something you need to let out, okay? It's crazy, yeah. And sometimes you connected to someone else's untold things and you let it all out because you're helping other people who don't have a voice to say what needs to be said. So this is how you connect into each other. Then you can choose to connect to certain persons, you can choose to connect to the collective energies, and then you don't want to be overwhelmed by otherwise, if you're an empath and you're starting to channel, it's like a I don't know, it's like a mechanism, like, or like a wheel. Once the wind is rolling, and it's a while to stop, to break. Well, it's the same with the channeling. When you're starting, you're attacked on every side, and then you can be overwhelmed. So you also have to learn to protect your energy and recenter and be like, okay, now where do I want to be? Okay, so the manifestation. So this is where I start. So I'm sorry, little 20 minutes. Yes, and about the talking about myself, sometimes it's also the I am, the oneness, the consciousness. I'm talking for me, but I'm talking for you, I'm talking for someone else. Okay, so I'm sorry for this little introduction. I wanted to keep this for the end, so the people who don't watch till the end at least get the positive stuff, but it's okay. Now we get to talk about the 11-11. Okay, so the 11-11 is contagious, so be careful. Once you start watching this, you're gonna start seeing the 11-11 everywhere. Okay, I'm gonna put this right here. Okay. So 11 years ago, so today is a special day. I'm gonna post this tomorrow for the 11 years ago, I was in Peru. This was my last day in Peru. I did on purpose, I wanted my last day to be in Peru, the 11-11. I was in Lima, I was seeing all my friends. I was actually at the Parque del Amor in Barranco, by the Malecon, having a picnic with my friends, looking at the Pacific Ocean. It was amazing. My experience in Peru was awesome. So I started seeing the 11-11 way before Peru. But when I got there, one day I was watching my TV, and I was by myself in my apartment. I was watching the TV, and I was writing stuff on my computer. I was already writing at the time, and I look at my phone, and it's 11:10, right? 11:10. I keep writing, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I really, literally, I feel like 20 minutes. You see, I've been talking for 20 minutes now. For me, I feel like I just started. It's been 20 minutes, long time writing. And I look at my phone, and it's 11:11. And so I have this little surprise thing, because I'm like, what? It's like time stopped. It's like there was a time lapse. So that was crazy. Between the first time I look at my phone and the second time, just 1 minute. For me, it felt like it was a long time. So I have this little, what? And all of a sudden, I look at the clock, and at the very same instant, I feel something that crosses me and bounces to the TV, and the TV blows up. Like, literally. So that's... And so I see the number crosses me, bounces to the TV, and the TV blows up and shuts off. And I'm like, okay, that's right, what's going on? Except that I had I don't want to talk about negative, but I had an energy in the house. Then after that, so it's a portal, right? So that this crossed me, and that opened a portal. And after that, I had some crazy energies in my house. I had to move out. It's literally like I had paintings, like there was a painting on the wall, and the painting like jumps on me, like something like just hit the painting and to throw it at me and stuff like that. Yeah, that happened. So I moved out of this place real quick, and that was actually, I think that was crazy. Wow. Yeah. Well, now you see, I just had that. That was actually an energy that was meant to push me out of this apartment, because then I started looking for an apartment, and I was on my way to go visit some crappy place. But on the way to this crappy place, I'm walking in the street and I hear these two guys talking. And I hear one of the guys be like, oh yeah, I need to rent my apartment. I'm putting it for rent. It's just right here around the corner. And I'm like, excuse me, I didn't mean to listen, but I was literally just passing next to you. I hear that you're renting an apartment. I'm looking for an apartment. Where is it? Can I see it? Yeah, okay, no problem. Next day, he takes me to the apartment, and it's literally best apartment in my budget, over on the view on the Pacific Ocean. A small view, but a view on the Pacific Ocean, and my favorite place in Lima. And I was like, wow, what an alignment. The 11-11, what an alignment. Crazy. So you see, from that, and then from that, it was just every day stuff like that, synchronicities, or like I would come in a room, and that was after Machu Picchu, when I took this energy from the Machu Picchu stone, the temple of the sun, the observatory. And after that, like I would come inside a room, and like the light bulbs would blow up, or I would come or go to talk to someone and their computer shuts down. It's like I had this electromagnetic charge with me that just followed me like for a long time. And now, even if I'm here, I still feel it. I still with the elements. I'm super connected to the elements. So that was the little story about the 11-11, but most of the time it's an alignment, it's a portal. So when you open these portals, sometimes you have good energies coming, and sometimes you have bad energies coming. And sometimes they're, like Matthias was saying, they're bad energies, but they're not actually bad, they're what you needed for the task. So maybe it was not even, this guy was kind of crazy, because it's like, I moved because it's literally, it was waking me up at night, like breathing in my ears like that. Like I felt like it was really like a negative energy, like a demon, like even like satisfied to scare me. I was paralyzed in my bed, hearing, literally you hear breathing in your ear like that, and I was paralyzed. And I look up on my ceiling, and there is a vortex. It was literally like in the movies, like a vortex. The same thing I saw in Bolivia, in Copacabana, these little energies flying over the lake. I see that on my ceiling, just over my face. So you're by yourself, you don't have your family. I had friends, but she, when I told her, she said I smoked too much weed. So, she didn't really believe me, even though I was not even smoking at the time, just to specify in case you were going to say the same thing. Plus, by the way, I'm usually more normal when I smoke weed than when I don't. So, that's relativity. So I'm by myself, and I'm there, and I'm paralyzed in my bed. I'm like, that's a little much to handle right now. Like, what am I gonna do? Okay, I'm moving out. But you see, maybe that was one of my angels that was here just to scare me out of this place, because I was gonna find that place. I was in a tiny room. It was literally the size of a cabinet. It was literally the size of my shoe cabinet right now, with a mattress on the floor. And like bed bugs, so I had to move. And if I hadn't decided, I wouldn't have met this guy who had a better apartment right around the corner, and stuff. So this is an amazing story to illustrate that sometimes the things that look bad, see, 11 years later the cycle closes, and you understand that it was actually exactly the task. So 11 years ago, would I imagine everything that was gonna happen? Right? I left Peru. I met my husband when I was in Peru. he was in the Navy, and he was on a mission there in Peru. So I met him, and then we were on a distance relationship for like a year while I was working there. So I just had my job when I met him, so I wasn't going to just leave my job. But after a year and a half of a distance relationship, then he said, why don't you move to the US with me? And so this is when I was moving out. After a year and a half, I was like, okay, now I need to decide, what do? Do I stay in Peru? I have my career, my life and everything, or do I choose love and a new life and something new? I will make it anywhere I go anyways. You know, I made it there all by myself, so why wouldn't I make it anywhere? You know. So yeah, I knew I left. I knew I was gonna follow him, but I didn't know everything that was gonna happen. That I was gonna go live in Bahrain, that I was gonna come in US, that I would be here in a house in Florida now. And now I'm thinking, where will I be in 11 years? What is it gonna be 11 years from now? You know, imagine yourself where you were in 11 years ago, and now where will you be in 2033? Crazy. We'll have 2 new presidents by then. 10 years. Wow. I think, honestly, I think I found my place. I think I love Florida. I think, you know, if I get to buy my house, that's all I need. Then do a job that I love, be able to travel, have a gallery in France, do business between America and France, being able to travel, but always have the base right here in Florida. I think Florida is one of the best places. We have the best weather. We have the nature. We have the ocean. Best is the weather, honestly. So perfect transition to talk about the weather. So the hurricane. So now we have the Hurricane Nicole. And it's interesting because my grandmother was called Nicole. And 2 days ago, I was thinking, man, I wonder if my grandmother and my dog, like Dusty, you know, if they can see everything I'm going through right now. Because Dusty was the best guardian. Like, he was with me through everything. He saw everything. He felt it. But my grandma, you know, I was like, the previous generation, 2 generations back, they had no idea. You know, she never left. I mean, yeah, she traveled a little bit her Normandy, but it's completely different life. Like, did they have any idea, you know, what could be happening and everything? And then literally the next day, they're like, oh, there is Hurricane Nicole coming. And I was like, she knows. Okay, she knows what's going on. And, you know, she... then this morning everything was flooded, and you know, there's the Yosoi, even right now in Argentina. I was there in February in Egypt, and each of the day is related to an element and a geometric form. Okay, so let's talk about the elements, because the fire, what is the fire in a person? The fire is the passion, the creativity, the nothing can stop me, this willingness, you know, to keep going. Or sometimes the anger, strong emotions, you know, or the fire, it burns also, the ashes. But you know that in nature you need fire, because it dries the seeds. When a tree burns, all the trees burn into ashes, but the seeds, cracks the seeds and becomes ashes, fly and respreads the seed all around, and then it rains and all the seeds are planted. So this is how nature fertilizes the seeds with fire. This is why natural fire exists. And sometimes if there's none, a lightning comes and creates a fire. Okay, and just like here, and the fire, I'm gonna finish with the fire, but the fire can be stopped. Okay, the fire, even though difficult, when you have these great fires in California or in the south of France, we have them too. It takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of people, it takes airplanes, it takes water, it takes lots of measures, but you can stop it. You can. You circle it, you put those you burn fire to stop the fire. Have you seen this movie? Oh my god, crazy movie. Oh, I don't remember, but it's a movie of firefighters, and they show pretty much how they turn off the fire and stuff. And there was one of the guy who passed away in a fire because he got trapped. Oh my god, wow, very powerful. I don't remember the name of the movie. Wow, yeah. But the water, you can't stop the water, okay? And what is the water? The water is the emotions in the body. It's the tears. It's the it constantly flows. It's the thing that you're constantly thinking about. You know, your tears of joys and your tears of pain. It's also your the love, the passion, and stuff like that. So the flood, nobody can stop it until the rain stops, and then the flood goes away. Nothing can stop the flood. Nothing can stop the water. So think about your emotions. When you have these grudges, these traumas, this sadness, they're in your body. Even though you forgive the people, even though you see the best, even though you're a good person, even though blah, 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 it's still within you. The emotions, it's really difficult to transcend them. This is why it's a work of every day and repeating and showing love to each other. This is why sometimes, I came here in the US and literally, like I said, I have really good friends that sometimes let you down and stuff like that. But then I found this community online. Some of them I met, some of them I didn't meet yet. Sometimes some of them I maybe never meet. But people who never give up on each other. And so now I'm going to transition to the twin flame journey. But these have you ever wanted to have people in your life that are die hard, right? Never give up, no matter what. People like that always protect each other. If one doesn't stand for himself, someone else will stand for him, and then the other, and and you meet people like that. I've never seen this anywhere else. So I criticize America a lot. There's a lot of negative stuff in America, but for this, never seen this anywhere else. Like people who are willing to stand up for each other like that. I was like, wow. So that's why the love was kind of like, what? Man, so much love. So anyway, so let's transition now to the twin flames because it's talking about love. Okay, so let's start. I'm gonna start with the Lover's Oracle, and then I'm gonna explain the paintings. Okay, so the Chakradventure, usually red, so it's a good start. The root chakra. Usually I do the Chakradventure for the 11/11. Okay, so at this date, usually I do the Chakradventure, which is a week of videos and card readings and PDF files, explanation. It's a little challenge to wear a color every day, okay? Where you open up your chakras to realign your chakras consciously, knowing what your organs, your chakras are for in your body, being conscious of your body and psychologically what it related to, and work consciously, put your conscious on each one of them every day. So you realign it, you nourish it, or understand, or maybe it's going to release some things, good or bad, as always. But remember, things are not always what they appear. Maybe you're going through a difficult divorce and it's the worst time of your life, but then you realize it was to meet someone better after. And yeah, okay, well, people, we've been dumb and arguing and stuff like that, but once it's over, man, I'm open to the new now. So anyways, we're going to do the Chakradventure in December. We're going to do it the week before December. I think I'm going to cancel my team building that I wanted to do here at my house because I spilled tea on my computer and I lost the files and I'm not going to recuperate the files, but it's going to take time for me to get my computer back. So I'm not gonna have my computer this week, and I won't be able to print the booklet before December. So I'm not gonna be able to do the art retreat. I don't want to do it in a rush. You know, if you're coming to my place, I want to do it and you have the best time. I want everything to be perfect. I want to work on the book. You know, you need to complete the task before you start another. All right. If you try to start everything at the same time, forget it. You're just delaying yourself. You see, it's so good. Raspberry. Oh, you see, I'm starting. It's all red today. Okay. All right, I'm gonna start that. Okay, let's pick a card. This one. Oh, crazy. Crazy because I was talking about the wow, Cupid arrows strike. I was talking about the fire and the water. And you see, fire and water. Crazy. Look at the colors. Beautiful. Romance, Cupid arrows strike. I was talking about the Cupid arrows this morning on my Facebook. There were a couple of Cupid arrows coming around all social media. Thank you. Thank you guys. I see it. I don't always reply, but I see it. So it's beautiful. Okay, now let's talk about the thing. Okay, so let's talk about the twin flame journey. I want to introduce this painting. So when I painted that, I was still in Mississippi. Yeah, I was still in Mississippi. I was still married. I didn't know about the twin flame journey. I did not associate the 1111 with the twin flame journey at all. I had never heard about the twin flames. I heard about it, but it was not resonating for me. I was like, no, I don't believe. You know, I've always been independent. I'm an only child, so since I'm a child, I've been doing everything by myself. I traveled by myself. I found jobs by myself. I found an apartment by myself. Went out, everything by myself, everything. You know, so even though I was in my marriage, but we were always, I would still take trips by myself. I don't know, I've always been, you know, very independent. And when I heard that the twin flames, so it's like a soul that completes your soul. It's the other half of you, you know. And when I heard that the other half of you, I was like, I'm not a half, I'm a whole, you know. I don't need someone else to complete me. I'm already complete. And it's true, we're already complete. But the truth is that our soul is everything. Our soul is connected to everything. So of course there's mergings of the soul all around the world, and you are even connected to the collective. So somewhat, you're never just one complete soul. You're just in the oneness of everything. So it's super complex. But anyways, it did not resonate for me at all. So I never really read on the topic. Then, so I painted that, right? I just painted that for the 1111. And you see, it's crazy because there's 3 levels. There's 3 levels of 1111. So the first level, okay? So the first time I heard about the twin flames is when I got here in Jacksonville, actually. I started reading, you know, how when you have a twin flame, you know, you have synchronicities, you know, you're always put in the path of someone. It's like crazy synchronicities, like you're there, the person is there. It's like almost like the forced encounter, you know. You're like, oh, you guys meant to meet together and stuff, and then the relationship degrades, you know. You realize that they're not making efforts for you. It becomes super toxic. So you're always trying to give them excuses, you know, oh, but he works a lot. So anyways, when you read about the twin flame, they tell you, oh, there is a chaser and there is a runner. So for the runner, the relationship is so intense and passionate that the other one is not able to face it, is not available emotionally, whatever. So he runs away, you know, so you're here trying to find excuses and stuff, which at some point, I even thought that the twin flame theory was made by psychopath narcissists who were trying... imagine in my mind the paranoia, because I was like, I discovered that the twin flame theory was created by a network of psychopaths who are taking advantage of women, turn around their, you know, like mess with their brain, and then write all this stuff about, you know, oh, they run because they're not available emotionally, they're in suffering, you gotta be patient, whatever, you know, all this stuff. But then I was like, forget it. This is just an excuse to let psychopaths treat you a certain way because you believe that, you know, in unconditional love and acceptance and forgiveness. So then I you know, I kind of like disregarded it again. Then I met someone that completely changed my life, and that actually helped me getting out of that first place relationship that was super toxic for me, and that we were just like, that just understood everything that was going on in my life because they had been to the same place before. Mama! Come here, baby. Come here. And that was just like, you know, when you have someone who just understands everything, it's like you don't even have to talk. They understand everything that's going through your mind. It's like even they're in your mind. You know, finish each other's sentences. It's like a double of you. It's like a mirror of you. It's like everything. And so it was a fusion of love, and this person made me understand unconditional love. And I was talking to you about earlier about those people. Have you ever wanted to have these people in your life that's no matter what people, you know, no matter what, no matter you hurt me, I hurt you, or you make mistakes, I make mistakes, or you too loving, anything. You're good enough, you're not good enough, or you have problems, or anything, and they're still here. Anything. Just like a mother and child, pretty much. You forgive everything. I think this is the only other comparison I have is the love you have for a child, because your child, you forgive everything, you work out everything. You have to. You can't let your children down. You can't. Some parents do, that's crazy. Some parents, they don't care about their kids. But if you're a normal parent, usually you would give everything to your children. And even if you're educating them, sometimes you have to say no. Sometimes, hey, what are you doing? No, this is not a coloring book. Hey, go get a coloring book. Go get the coloring book. Go. But it's this kind of unconditional love, right? So it was, you know, you meet those people that you're like, oh my God, you know, till the end, this no matter what kind of friends. I don't know, there's no other word. It's just like so strong, so honest, so pure, that I was like, okay, that's my twin flame, you know, that's it. There's no other way. And it doesn't mean to be in a romantic relationship. Sometimes your twin flame can be your best friend. Sometimes your twin flame can be your child or your actual twin. You have a lot of twins that come as twins in this life, and in another incarnation they're like, oh, in this life you will be my son, or in this life you will be whatever, my, you know. But you meet those people sometimes, or you go to an event and you meet a girl, she looks just like you, you know, you feel like you, oh my God, you found someone and you become the best girlfriends forever, or whatever. There's no rule to a twin flame relationship, okay? But most of the time, they're romantic relationships, and they're very fusional, very passionate, and they always find each other. In every life, they always come back to find for each other. And when they don't, sometimes you have a twin that's also not in the incarnation, but accompanies, that is the guardian angel of you or a person from the other side of the veil, right? So all your life, and this is why there's so many people that are depressed, because all of their life they feel like there is a missing piece of them, that they're just like, they can have everything, they can be successful, they can be whatever, maybe they have good life, maybe bad life, it doesn't matter, maybe they can have many family, many person, many friends, they still feel lonely, they still feel there is something missing. It's because they feel that there is this other part of them in someone else, or in an angel, or in somewhere, that they just can't grasp it, they just can't see it, they just don't have it, they just feel unsatisfied, and this explains it, because you have your twin flame, and until you find it, you will feel that, and then you meet someone, and it just, your oxygen like fills that gap, and so beautiful relationship. But then I understood that maybe, once again, maybe that's another step on the journey to my twin flame, because then I met someone else, unexpected, not looking for, but that just is like another me, and I was like, the same level of like forgiveness, the same level of love, and be ready to wait for each other, and just like not even talking, not communicating. Oh yeah, my twin flame journey was literally a telepathic journey, right? Because it's like the forbidden relationship, like for the one I just talked about, it's like the forbidden relationship. And when I read that book by Natalie Chintanovich, that was crazy, because there was this story of these two vampires that couldn't be together because they belonged to two different castes, and then they were separated and they just couldn't be together and stuff. And that just made me think of that relationship, because I was like, maybe that's what we were to fight for, and show that no matter what, we can be together. And I was like, maybe he's not my twin, but maybe he's like true love without a frame, doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, doesn't have rules, it's just true love that is always there, I was like, maybe he's not my twin, but he's the guide on my way to my twin, you know what I mean? So I know it, because it's like, no matter what, you just want the other one to be happy. It doesn't matter if it's together or if it's someone else. As long as this other one is happy, that's all that matters. As long as you're happy, I'm good. And so you're like, oh, a true angels for each other, that's just on a journey guiding each other, I mean, for me, that's what he was, like guiding me towards a better life, right? Towards my bigger future. And now that the third level, you're zooming in, right, at the center, and you have the 1111. So I'm like, oh, so now maybe like every time you meet someone, you're like, oh, that's it, that's the guy. But really, then I saw the painting, and I was like, that's crazy, because I had no idea about any of that when I painted that. But now that I'm living the journey, I was like, wow, it's like I wrote the journey before it even happened. That's crazy. So now I'm at the beginning of the twin flame journey. At first, I thought it was a scam, because it was a karmic relationship. The very first one I talked about, it was a karmic relationship, a fake twin. They call it fake twin, because it's like everything looks like your twin flames, all the path aligns and everything, and all of a sudden you realize that it is not a twin flame at all, but you're healing something. With that, I was healing something from my grandmother. I was healing something from my family line. It was a transgenerational trauma that I was reliving a situation from a different perspective to heal her. Okay? Wow. So the first one was a karmic. Then the second one was just true, it's a big thing. True unconditional love, guide, and angelic love. It doesn't mean that you're going through another one and you wipe it off. No, it becomes the circle, you see? It's crazy because you see the circle? This one is not in the circle, but this one is in the circle and is with the heart, the color, the green, the color of the heart. It is in the circle. It is the earth and the water. And this one is the center. Yeah, wow, that's powerful. So now I thought, first I discarded it. Then the second time it was all kind of like upside down. What in the world is going on? Okay, it's love, but it's not allowed. It's too much. It's not enough. Okay, let's figure out what kind of love is that. It's still love. But yeah, so now I'm just like, yep, I love the guy, nothing can stop me, I don't care. Okay, we're gonna be best friends forever, I claim it, I scream it. But then I'm open. Once you able to understand your relationship, then you can go to be open to love again, right? And welcome then what comes in the journey. And sometimes, like, none of these people I expected, I was like, I was married, I was in my perfect little life, I was like, that was good for me, and all of a sudden it's like all these things happen. I'm like, what is going on? Like, what disturbance? But once again, then it's when the real journey begins. Like, I don't know, like, not journey began a long time ago, but it's literally, I feel like we're closing a cycle now. We're putting things, okay, we're starting a new cycle, knowing where things are. When you know where you stand, and now we can start the new journey. We can go to the center. Okay, so that's why kind of my interpretation. Yeah. So the romantic flame, the twin flame, yeah, the fire, the passion, the love, and stuff. So you see, your relationships, sometimes it's complicated, but it's don't be fooled by everything that you read either. Okay, sometimes, like I said, the first time I was crazy, because this is really the guy who made me believe in the twin flames, who made me read about all that, when it was not at all, but that was just maybe the spark to initiate that, right? The trickster on the journey. Okay, so now I'm reading a card from the Mother Earth Mandala Oracle. This is my art. Wow. Okay, transition. You see transition, and here again I have 3. So the past, the present, and the future. Past, present, and future. Yeah. These are fire letters as well. See, this is a stargate. This is a portal. And it reminds me, when I was in Egypt, there was this window. I found a time travel machine in a time travel portal in Egypt, in Saqqara. There is this little tiny thing. You get in, there's nothing. Just get in, and there's 3 windows, closed windows, fake windows. One to the left, one in the front, and one to the right. And they're just like deep windows, but they're sealed, closed. So of course, what else could it be than time travel portals? I mean, it makes total sense. And so I looked on one side and I'm like, what do I see in the past? And it was like a mirror. It was like I look at it and I could see myself like a mirror, but then I was like, dive in the mirror. What are you now? And then what do you want to see in the picture? You project yourself in a picture. Okay, let's read about these letters. 4, card number 4, transition. Do you find it difficult to let go of the past? The transition card carries the energy of 3 fire letters and 2 master symbols of realization and reunification to help you find balance between your past, present, and future. These subliminal patterns represent the road to yourself, the goals you have ideally chosen for your life, and the path that you actually take. No matter the detours or choices you make, your action will always lead you back to this very first intention, the purpose of your incarnation. So, clear the baggage of the past and don't worry about the future. Now is the time you are writing your story, the one that did not exist yesterday and that will be, hopefully, tomorrow's best memory. Yeah, crazy. It's pretty much exactly what we're saying, the reunification. Right now, the present is right now when you're writing your story. What do you decide to write for your future? The unification of the present and the future. Letting go of the past. It's difficult. And never forget, I wanted to say that. I wrote it and I underlined it as well. Like, never forget, because I see some people who go through difficult stuff and then they're like, oh, I'm gonna help people and stuff like that, but then their situation becomes better, comfortable, and then you forget. Even myself, like last time I was like, every time, with, for example, my poor husband, ex-husband, like I know I talk a lot of crap, but I do appreciate him. We did have a real love story, by the way. We had a great time. It's just the last 2 years hectic because we were forced to live together for 3 years until he moved out. Because financially we couldn't afford to live in 2 different places. So we had to live, and for Esteban as well, we had to co-parent, live in the same place when we did not want to be together. So of course it's not the best part of each other that came up. But like every time I was like, oh, you know what? He's not that bad. Oh, you know what? No, but that, he works a lot. Trying to finding excuses. And then he would come back and do something just to remind me, oh, no. Yeah, I need to get a divorce. Yeah. And it's the same, I think. It's like when your life becomes better, then you forget. You're like, oh, no, but that wasn't that bad. No, yeah, it was horrible. It was bad. It was a bad divorce. It was really bad. We did our best to pretend for Esteban, and well, not even that, because we're arguing in front of him all the time. But the struggle, I think that's why also, it's like struggles right now, because if one day I'm better, then I will never forget that. I will never forget what it feels like. And when someone is in struggle and in trouble, could never just let them there, and not help. It's like, never forget, okay? But also, what you keep for yourself becomes your burden. It becomes the baggage you're carrying all around you. So you also have to make the effort. One of my questions, I have this question, one day I will ask them, that I want to ask to my mentors. It's like, or people who are really successful and that people did not believe in them and stuff. It's like, how do you deal with people who did you wrong? How do you, it's like, some friends, like you see the difference of people, how they treat you when everything was great, or you're successful and stuff. There is respect. When I was working in Bahrain, traveling the world, buying my house, being married, like when everything was perfect, I was in these empowering energies and stuff. Yeah, people respect you, oh, come on, let me invite you, blah, blah, blah. Then when you become in a divorce, no job, no money, blah, 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 the attitude changes. It's like, literally, it's like I've never, yeah. And anyways, it's like, I've had a lot of disrespect, and I was like, how do you deal with the people that you love but who disrespected you, or made you feel like you're begging, or I don't know, how can you, because you want to forgive, but at the same time you don't want to be a carpet. You don't want to be a carpet. You can do whatever you want to them, and they're just in unconditional love and forgiveness. And I don't either want to be that person who says smile, smile, smiles, and I'm gonna stab you on the back later because my revenge. No. If I have a problem with someone, I want to just tell them, hey, that's wrong. I don't like that you did that. I don't like that you're never there for me when I need the most, or you never came to visit me, or whatever, or you didn't help me financially, or I don't want to be that person who's always giving, like, reproaching stuff. But at the same time, so that's my thing though. That's my little thing right now. Like, how do you be forgiving enough that you don't want to blow away all your relationships, and you realize who really matters and who you really want to make efforts for? What is the love? Does the love weigh more than the grudges? And at the same time, standing up for yourself, and finding the balance, really finding the balance. This is my thing. It's been a question that I've had in my thoughts. I'm always like, man, if one day I make it, I'm gonna tell these beautiful ladies, I'm gonna show them, and I'm like, man, that's my little revenge, on life. But that's crazy. But anyways, that's it. I think I went around all of that, so thank you if you've been sticking to the end. Okay, let's see. The Flower of Life. I'm pulling 2 more cards. The Flower of Life, 5. Yes, I'm glad. It's a good omen, taught in the Tablets of Emerald. It talks about the flower of life. This is also why it's a symbol that's been used since the dawn of time by every culture and religion. It's the perfect ratio to make sacred geometry. Number 5 is also a symbol of movement, transition, traveling. But for me right now, it means the moving to another level, right? Not staying where I am psychologically right now. Okay, the chakras, we were talking about the chakras. Oh yeah, so December, the week before Christmas, I'm gonna post the Chakradventure just so you can do it, and if you like it, you can talk about it to your families and your friends during Christmas, and then you can redo it, I don't know, the first week of January after your parties and eating a lot and stuff for Christmas. Okay, and I'm gonna pull a card from Magical Times because it's my favorite. This is the Oracle Magical Times by US Game Systems, Jody Bergsma, published by US Game Systems. This is the Oracle that got my Oracle published, because I went one day to a spa right next to the gallery where I had my paintings in Biloxi, and I went out and there was a spa right next to it. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go check it out, and the lady's like so nice, so cheering, so welcoming. So I hang out with her and I look, and she says Oracle, so I get that Oracle, and it's so beautiful. And then I'm gonna put a card right now, and then I wrote, this is when I said, oh my god, I want to make oracles with my art. So that's when I wrote to the publisher, and wow, destiny. Wow. Well, see, this is exactly, it's just beautiful. And this is how the publisher answered and published my work. So destiny, beautiful dolphins, beautiful portal. So you see the that colors is like the vortex, but you see there is also geometry here. There is a Metatron's cube, actually, crazy. There is a Metatron's cube and purple. So you see the colors, it's a purple, just like the center as well of this one, destiny. You see all the steps, the path of the journey towards destiny, the center. And this one also crazy because I wanted this one to be like a pyramid, the center of a pyramid, right? When you're looking up, you have the walls around it, and then you look up and the ray towards the sky, right? So it's like the pyramidal structure, even though it looks like a circle. But in my vision, it was like I'm looking up and I'm in the center inside a pyramid, and actually the person I met inside the pyramid. So that's pretty crazy because there's some stuff that I painted or say before stuff even happened. And I was like, did I manifest the journey or did I predict it? Did I force it? Just like the oracle in Matrix. You know, would you break the vase if I didn't warn you before? Or did I force it? Or did I provoke it? I don't know. That's why your words are so must be so intentional. Okay? Acknowledge your mission. Align with your purpose. You have gifts to share with the world. Yes. The booklet. Okay, let's read it. And then I'm gonna go do some games with my baby. Today, I will look deep within myself. Remember my destiny and who I really am. I will not let others influence me. I will follow my heart regardless of what others tell me to do. I know my dreams will guide me to my greatness. Today, I will align with my mission and feel the power of purpose. Yeah. Well, it's funny because it's one of the other thing I forgot to say. You see that it's like a dialogue, honestly, with the angels. You see, for me, you see, I won't let others influence me. Yeah, I won't let others that I don't care about influence me. I would add that. I won't let the people that I don't care about or that I don't value that much or who wouldn't step up for me or tell me what to do. But the people who care about you and that you love and that you care for, listen to what they say. And you're not here alone. You're not here alone. You're here with other people. It matters what other people think of you. It matters because when people are mean to you or when they have a bad image of you, it hurts you in your feelings, even though you're pretending, I don't care what other people mean. I'm by myself. I don't care anyways. But within, it hurts you what other people think of you. If it's a good friend that you love, or a parent, or a sister, or a best friend, or even your son, you know, sometimes he's like, I don't know, I don't want to talk to you. Or sometimes I talk to him about it. I don't want to talk to you right now, you know, but it hurts, you know, if someone has a bit bad opinion. So you want to make it better. So work with others as well. Dignity. Take pride in yourself and all that you have become. Feel honored by your choices, achievement, and actions. Take time to take action, Esteban.
Not yet.
Are you ready to go play some board games?
Nah.
Man?
I just want to have the phone.
All right. Okay, guys. Thank you for watching. It was a little long, as always. I could do a little shorter, but
Sad. No, you can't.
what had to be said is said. So, yay. And I'm glad that, raising the energies a little bit, because we're all experiencing the doubts and the hard times. So
hold on, Mommy.
You're better off in your feelings when you feel good, and dressing up. When you look at yourself in the mirror and you're looking better, it puts you in this energy to do something better than when you're in your PJs all day. I just want to be on my couch. And that's it. So dragging ourselves out of it and reaching for the light. Bye, guys. Have a great day.
Bye. Hold on.
Ow.
Hold on.
You want to say something, baby?
Yeah. What? want to say something to you.
Okay. Then turn it up so we can talk.
Giggle.